To end the weekend, MMS live on the Raging Hit Racing Network comes to Talladega for a 50-lap shootout between the best that MMS has to offer. Key favorite drivers in this: Malik Ray, Ken McCullough, Trevor Astronaut, John Ward, just to name a few. Some you saw last night from the Midnight Racing League that ran, and a lot of them you've seen several times on MMS. Should be a great night of action with the drivers that we have right now. Practice concluding. And qualifying up next. Well, 15 cars in the field so far tonight. Might be a few more joining as qualifying goes on. 10 minutes, 1 lap. Gonna wait and see who bites the bullet first, and it will be Justin Johnson. Johnson right now will get us started here. Nobody else rolling out onto the racetrack for the moment. I think everybody's going to wait and see what the time to beat is really going to be. Track temp 123 degrees at the moment, so it ought to be a slick. Should be multi-groove, or at least going to help that outside lane a lot. Potentially the third lane as well, but these cars, gridlock is evidence, going to make drivers have to think, how am I going to get to the front tonight? Gordon Spain and Chase Mastrota rolling out onto the racetrack now. We'll focus in on them in just a minute. Well, Johnson right now 27-3 through the first half of the racetrack. It's going to need, I don't think that's going to stand too well for the moment. Going to just got to wait to see how this lap time will be as it comes off of turn 4. Well, Johnson not going to cut the travel. Matter of fact, straddles travel might hurt his time a little bit. 27-2 in the time of 54.496. That'll set the bar for tonight. With Gordon Spain on the racetrack now, along with Chase Mastrota. Folks back in on Johnson, or not Johnson, but Spain. 27-3, however, it is a bit faster than Johnson's time. Chase Mastrota falls right into the same category. Matter of fact, Chase Mastrota 27-2. Mastrota on par for the pole position. Folks back in on Gordon Spain. Spain real fast to cut the apron and at the line. Gordon Spain, does he have the pole for the moment? 54.438 and Mastrota's time of 377. Mastrota top of the board. Fast lap for Chase Mastrota. Right now, Trevor Astronaut sitting on pit road, waiting patiently, probably debating if he's going to go or not. I'm waiting for a couple more drivers to roll out. All right, now it is just the waiting game. 5.5 minutes remaining. Steve Sizemore, or no, not Sizemore, but John Darnell fired the car up. Well, Darnell and Richard Elliott both going out onto the racetrack. Just under 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Hell yeah, it is. Always a great night for a race. Steve Sizemore now. Going to get that car rolling. So 3 drivers to take a shot at Chase Mastretta's pole time for the moment, with just over now 4 minutes remaining. And Richard Elliott and John Darnell on the clock. Well, Elliott right now fastest through that first section. But Richard Elliott, no surprise for starting on the pole. Done it many times. Trevor Asrenoff just now starting to roll out onto the racetrack. We'll focus back in on him and the others in a minute. But at the line, Richard Elliott's time isn't enough. It is not. 378, a thousandth of a second off. And John Darnell, 399. Not to be outdone right now, Steve Sizemore. He's got something to say about. He's got something to say about the pole contention. Sizemore to cut the apron. And at the line, 54-369. Steve Sizemore, top of the board. Trevor Asrenoff. But his lap will start. Right now, letting it fade up the track a little bit, letting her eat. Well, Astronaut's going to bail out on the lap. So say to Astronaut, that lap time was on par to be a contender for at least the top 4 spots. But Trevor going to think better of it. So right now, Steve Sizemore still on pole the way it looks, with just over a minute remaining. We'll take the pole. 20 seconds remaining. Of course, you look at the top 6. The rest of the field will be determined on how iRacing deems them to be started, and it just has. Alright, with that being said, Steve Sizemore on the pole. Go through the starting lineup for tonight's race. Steve Sizemore, Chase Mastrada, first and second, Richard Elliott, John Darnell, Gordon Spain, Justin Johnson rounds out the 6 drivers to post a lap. From there on down is how iRacing determined the starting order. That will have Elite Ray, Casey Sprinkle, 7th and 8th. Ethan Eckert, Kenny Real. Came up 2 spots short last night in the Midnight Racing League for the playoffs. Looking at a little bit of redemption tonight. Rolls off 10th. Trevor Azranoff, Josh DeBrune rounds out the top 12. And then the final 4. John Ward, Josh McCullough, Kim McCullough, and Danny Barnes rounds out the 16-car field. That will end the weekend on a great note, on a good note. Right now, 40 seconds left. Casey Sprinkle going to miss the start of the race. Well, that being said, we're going to wait to officially see if they're going to delay the green. By delay the green, what I mean by that is instead of going at the start-finish line when the pace car comes in, they will allow Casey Sprinkle to get caught up in his spot. They will actually go down the back straightaway if they choose to hold the green. So it's going to be interesting to wait. Going to have to wait, watch, and see. Casey will be rolling off 8 tonight. So we're just going to play it by ear and see. Well, track temperature has dropped to 114 degrees. So, of course, there's some things you ignore on this tab. Obviously, it's not May 15th or nothing like that. But at the very bottom, you see the 114 degree track temp. It's dropped almost 10 degrees and just dropped again for where we were at in practice. So it might hinder that third lane, might hinder that middle lane a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. And they are not going to hold the start. So we're rolling from Talladega. Down the back straightaway right now, Steve Sizemore holds the advantage over Richard Elliott side by side for third. For third and fifth as John Darnell, Justin Johnson try to pull that outside lane. Josh DeBrune, John Ward trying to get up there and help push that outside lane. But right now, Sizemore, Elliott, Spain, Malik Ray. Top four who have single filed out, but here comes Darnell back on the outside. Still going to be side by side with Malik Ray, and at the line, Steve Sizemore will lead the first lap. See, Darnell's already going to go up to the outside. Maybe either drop back, try to save some fuel early. Ethan Eckert jumps up to that middle lane. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Going to quickly become 2. Gordon Spain jumps up to the outside of Richard Elliott. And Eckert immediately decided, you know what, back to the bottom. Already you see the outside lanes already starting to struggle a little bit. Of course, if you get more cars up there, then it will probably work out for you. But for right now, it ain't doing nothing. For the record, Casey Sprinkle unable to start the race. So right now, the 0:59 already done before it even gets started. You're right on board with Steve Sizemore. Right now, again, a look at Richard Elliott. Elliott's going to leave that little bit of gap, try to get some air going through that radiator area. Before he's going to come right back, give another, well, don't give him a light bump, but nothing will materialize out of it as here comes Gordon Spain on the outside. Right now, simplified out. Sizemore comes up, cover the outside lane. Is going to let Richard Elliott have the bottom with Eckert, Ray Mastrota, and Josh DeBrune, the top 5 on the bottom lane. Sizemore, Spain, Johnson, Ward, and John Darnell rounds out the top 5 on the outside lane. Elliott comes up. Almost wasn't clear. So Sizemore will drop right back down to the bottom. He just did that long enough to lay that little bit of run and don't get off the turn 4. That's all that was, working the lane control. I don't mind you being on the outside, but I don't want you getting another run on me. Down the back straightaway. Sizemore going to get that run that I just alluded to. However, not going to be enough to really get clear. Richard Elliott's going to have to try to build it right back up again. Oh, and really, right now, as it stands, there's kind of a stalemate between the lanes, really. We can tell that the bottom lane is definitely being more favored. Big overcast over this racetrack, and the more it overcasts, the more that outside lane I feel like it's going to struggle. Well, the sun peeks back out down the back straightaway, but still mostly cloudy. Of course, forecast for tonight in Talladega, partly cloudy skies. To be partly cloudy, there's quite a few clouds out there. And right now, Ethan Eckert to the lead for the first time. Now only two different leaders for tonight. Well, Sizemore would drop. He's going to drop to the back. He's led for, give or take, he's led for 3 laps already. I think now he's at the point of the race where now it's time to drop back, save what fuel we can. As Eckert, Ray, and Chase Strutter, Richard Elliott, Josh DeBruyne will be the top 5 as they thunder down the back straightaway. Kenny Rio, fastest lap in the race this past lap of 50.697. Well, right now, everybody mind their P's and Q's. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of single-filed action throughout the field. 50% fuel, so bit of a hard call if it's going to be a one stop or a 2 stop. Have to wait and see. It's a bit of a lag on the part of Ethan Eckert. Well, Eckert would drop back to the back because of that blink. Actually, no, we'll move right back up the line. Pushes Josh DeBruyne 3 wide. Right now, Elliott back to the front. Malik Ray immediately going to look back to the inside of Richard Elliott. And for the first time tonight, Malik Ray with a push from Estrada will lead at Talladega. Was there ever any surprise? No. Another cloud falls over Talladega. Ray Elliott at the line. Survey says Richard Elliott. Well, it's 5 laps of the night has been completed so far. Right now, working 10. Getting pushed by Gordon Spain. Tell you one driver we ain't talked about a lot so far tonight. They're actually having a very quiet night, all things considering. Surprises this far up the field. Right on board with the 2023 PGR champion, John Ward. Right now, Ward just riding. That's pretty much the name of the game. That's the game plan, really, with Ward. Just ride, be smart, be safe, be consistent, do everything you can, pretty much. Right now, still Malik Ray and Richard Elliott. We're going to take a quick moment to step away from the mic. You're watching MMS live from Talladega. We'll be right back. Back live from Talladega. Green flag pit stop's already happening. Ray, Eckert, Jabroon, Kenny Real, Chase Mistro, Trevor Asmanoff all in. As here comes the rest of the field, an even bigger cluster, and they all get on the pit road pretty much safe and sound. Right now we're going to pull it up in comparison to where the rest of the field is at, and there you see Eckert and them. Well, it was a pretty good pit stop for everybody up to that point. The thing about it is, so they're making a pit stop now just 10 in. Kind of surprising me, actually. But there you see at the screen, Ward and others already in. Jabroon almost got Eckert a little bit wobbly there, but able to keep it straight. But when it's all said and done, the field will be formed back up into one big pack. Massive separation from this first group, from the second group compared to the first one. But Ward will go backwards. But he will tack on to the back end of this group. Followed by Joshua McCullough. Right now, top 12 in this lead pack. All the way back from Ethan Eckert down to Ken McCullough. In the 03, on further back, Justin Johnson. He's actually lost this lead pack. Well, no, he might have to draft. Ticker says he's gaining on him. All the way back through, though, you'll find John Darnell, Richard Elliott. Darnell coming back into the pits. Black flag for Darnell. That's why. Well, that's going to hurt Richard Elliott a lot, too. Right now, Eckert doing a great job at holding the lead. Maybe perhaps leaving a little bit too much open on the bottom, allowing Josh Jabroon to peek in there. But I think right now, Josh is just, cutting him a break, cutting him some slack. Not in the moment. But here you see Eckert up the racetrack this time. Potentially now try to save a little bit more fuel. But that's the whole purpose, really, I would think, would be giving up the lead. Just drop back, save some gas, drop right back in the fourth spot. Kenny Real up to third. John Darnell already left the pit lane, come back out onto the racetrack, one lap down in 15th. as Josh DeBrune continues to lead. Right now, 33 to go. It's just field statement at this point. This is the part of the race where it looks boring, but ultimately these guys are all thinking long run. What can I do to put myself in position to walk out of here the winner? Chances are there might be a caution late in the going. But right now, they're not worried about a caution. They're thinking, I've got to get to the end of this thing. The last pit stop will be the most critical. When the last pit stop happens, the excitement picks up. A lot of times you get excitement while they're trying to save fuel. A lot of times. Right now, Jabroom, Elite Ray, Kenny Real, Ethan Eckert, Chase Mastretta in the top 5. On down through the remainder of the field that's in this pack. Trevor Asronoff, John Ward, Joshua McCullough, Gordon Spain, Steve Sizemore, Danny Barnes, and Kenan McCullough. Justin Johnson, 15 seconds off the lead pack. Richard Elliott, 24. And, of course, John Darnell, just mentioned it a little while ago. 1 lap down. Casey Sprinkle already out of the race. Run back through the field and see how some drivers are. See how they're handling the fuel run. Start with right on board with the pole sitter from tonight, Steve Sizemore. Perfect representation. Barely breaking it. Not even enough to really register on the scale. But barely full throttle. If not even 3/4. Or at least 80-90%. Just enough to stay in this draft. Find some other drivers here. Danny Barnes. Much the same way. You can hear the engine not quite full song down the back straightaway, lifting off just a little bit. Well, Malik Ray, matter of fact, jumped to the outside lane. So does Josh DeBrune as well. You can hear it. Everybody's just lifting as the best they can, whenever they can. And Kenny Real out front at Talladega. See the field, they'll work their way down through the turn 1 and 2 banking. Right now you can pretty much just see how everybody's really leaving that gap, trying to save that little bit. You see Ward as we go through the bustling section of the RVs. See Ward leaving that gap, as is Astronaut, Joshua McCullough, Gordon Spain, several drivers leaving that little bit of gap, just to enough to where you can save fuel. Because right now the man that's burning the most fuel at the moment would be Kenny Real. Yeah, but even he's not full song. See, hovering right around that 183 to 186 mark. Right now, Real will jump out of line. So I'm tired of leading this race, so I need to start saving a little bit myself. So Real will drop right back down in front of Mastretta. Well, 25 to go, half down, half to go. Well, not much has really changed. Like I said, this is the part where you just got to wait it out. They've actually gone a lot further. They've actually gone 5 laps further. I'm curious to ask why the 11 to 12 lap stint. So could it be that everybody did that just so where they can make it a 2-stop race? Because I know they can't make it 25 laps on this tank, not with already 13 and 14 gone. So there ought to be another pit stop in here somewhere. As you look at the Racing Network pit strategy report. Well, right now, it says it's not the funnest part of the race, but it will pretty much set up to what should be a thrilling finish, provided everybody gets through these green flag pit stops. .23 to go. Of course, I gotta expect green flag pits. They cannot be. I don't think they're too much further off. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, biggest movers of the race since the start. Matter of fact, the leader, Ethan Eckert, the biggest mover of the race, up 8 spots where he started this. Kenny Real, Josh DeBroom, up 7 spots where they started. John Ward, Joshua McCullough up 6, both are where they started, and then Astronaut and Danny Barnes up 5. They're your biggest movers of the race so far tonight. Well, right now, biggest droppers since the start of the race. Steve Sizemore, the pole sitter, right now running in the 10th spot, 9 positions dropped from where he started opposite on the front row. Richard Elliott, John Darnell, both 11 spots dropped respectively. Right now, John Darnell will go another 2 laps down pretty much. That might just guarantee that his race is done after a speeding penalty on pit road. Or 20 to go. Ethan Eckert's led 10 laps so far tonight. Earlier on, it was Richard Elliott leading 7. But of course, Elliott's pit road wasn't as good. So right now, you got Ethan Eckert leading. Here they come. 20 to go. 19 to 20 was the distance. Everybody. Good God almighty. Well, Joshua McCullough, the only odd man out of this equation, because McCullough stays out. Richard Elliott, I should know, give it to Eckert, wins the race off the pit road. Richard Elliott just went 1 lap down anyway. So Joshua McCullough, the odd man out, John Ward, or no, Justin Johnson in this time. See McCullough locking up the brakes. Well, they pitted with 19 to 20 to go. It is 19 now, so this may very well still be a fuel mileage race, to say the least. Oh, it definitely is. They thought they went with 19 to 20 laps when they pitted. Chances are that they'll still be saving fuel all the way to the end. Joshua McCullough out of the pits. However, McCullough will quickly go a lap down. Well, not a lap down, but lose his lead for sure. But there he is on the apron. So when it's all said and done, Ethan Eckert, Malik Ray, and Kenny Reel will be your top 3. Asronoff, Gordon Spain, the top 5. McCullough 6. Danny Barnes, Steve Sizemore. Well, Chase Mistress, Sizemore. Joshua Burns should be top 5. We'll focus back in here. $17 to go. How far are they willing to stretch it? How far are they willing to go with it? There you see it, 19 to 20 laps. This ticker will update normally about 3 laps in to the run, so you'll really be able to see. Well, it's still going to be close, nonetheless. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight. And right now, this is just about, it is what it's just going to boil down to. Right now, they're going 3 wide. 3 wide contact with McCullough and Spain. Hang on to her, boys. Malik Ray to the lead. Ethan Eckert on the bottom. Gonna get them shuffled out. They're still gonna go 3 wide. Mastretta and Sizemore making contact. Woo! That's the best bit of action we've seen all night with 15 to go. Right now, it would appear that they are going full throttle. 188, 187. Well, Ray down out of line, gonna come back up. They're getting dicey now. Kenny Real wants to lead back. McCullough pulling John Ward on the outside. Well, 3 by 3. Off in turn 2. Real almost gets turned on McCullough. Saves it. Malik Ray up to the middle. Mastretta slams Malik Ray all over Astronaut. They save it. 4 wide. Almost 5 wide. Woo! Hang on to it. It's getting dicey now. Malik Ray trying to cover all points. Eckert Jabroon on the outside. Eckert down to cover Mastretta now. They're all run out of room. Still making contact 4 wide across the line. Oh, there they go. That's all she wrote. They save it. No, they don't. No, they don't. Kenny McCullough in the wall. Man, Justin Johnson gets a piece of it. McCullough's engine is done. Man, oh man. McCullough knows that. Man. All right. Well, we'll get the replay on this one here and see what. It's going to take a while to figure this one out. Nah. Well, I can tell you there's about 2 or 3 wrecks before they actually wrecked. We go all the way back to the back straightaway. And we're going to ride through this and see how this all gets set up. Alright, well right here. So Real gets loose there. I don't think Mastretta's going to realize Malik Ray is to the bottom. He's going to slam Malik Ray all over Abdernoth. Lucky that ain't a wreck right there. But now they're 4 wide coming off of 4. So they're pushing. Respectable. Still good. Contact there. And then Mastretta and Kenny come together. And from there, it is on. Kenny Real, hell of a save. But Kenny McCullough is trying to hold on to it. Car comes up, makes contact with Josh DeBrune. And amazingly, there's not more cars involved in this than what there could have been. Let's ride on board with Kenny McCullough. He's just getting beat on to hell. Has it saved and just runs out of room. Hear the motor immediately go black or go down. It's dead. Johnson's going to nail him in the driver's side door. Man, oh man. Right on board with Justin Johnson. Johnson rolling off. Sees the wreck happening. Letting off strokes. Tries to sneak the gap through the middle. McCullough. Bang. Well, they didn't quite make it. They didn't quite wreck for the digger cam. Well, there they did. Well, yeah, there it is. Well, not quite, but nonetheless, a little bit after the fact. But nonetheless, for Justin Johnson, damage to his car, Kenny McCullough had to take a tow back to the pits. So the night for McCullough more than likely done. And it will be Ethan Eckert. Eckert, Azarnoth, John Ward, Gordon Spain, Joshua McCullough, top 5, Elite Race, Steve Sizemore, and Kenny Rio rounds out the drivers still on the track. Well, like I said, it's lucky they didn't take out more cars than what it did. Right now you see Mastretta, Elliott, Jabroon. They all came back into the pits. Well, now to re-racket. Ethan Eckert, Trevor Azarnoth, Gordon Spain, John Ward, Malik Ray still the top 5. Actually switched McCullough and Ray, and you'll have the top 5. Malik Ray, Steve Sizemore, Kenny Rio, Danny Barnes. Right now the top 9. Chase Mastretta. Saying he's out of the race already. Because Josh DeBrune, Kenny Rio, all them, all meatball damage, and Chase Mastretta out of the race. So, with 10 to go, 9 drivers. Nine drivers left in it. Richard Elliott coming out of the pits, now 2 laps down. All right. Ethan Eckert, Trevor Azarnoth, 10 laps. Here we go. Into United Rose restart zone. We're rolling. Azarnoth with a great start, but Eckert bound right back to the bottom. Well, we got Ward and Spain behind them, both pushing the other respectively. You see Sizemore jumps up to the outside lane right behind Kenny Rio, now 11. Outside lane's got Azarnoth, Spain, Malik Ray, Kenny Rio, Steve Sizemore at the bottom. Eckert, Ward, Joshua McCullough, Danny Barnes, Richard Elliott, who was 2 laps down in this matter. Eckert up to cover the outside lanes, going to allow Ward right back to the inside. John Ward's led 1 lap so far tonight. Looking to add a little bit more. 8 to go. Right now, Pat Stanley's give it to Ethan Eckert, who's led 17 laps so far tonight. Now here comes Ward right back to the bottom. Got 2 MMS cars right behind him, and Joshua McCullough and Danny Barnes. Only 7 to go, and they get back to the line. Eckert getting another wicked push from Asronoth. Right now, as it stands, they're going to cross the line. 7 to go this time. Still anybody's race if you're a part of this top 9. All the way back to Steve Sizemore running in the back. Of course, Sizemore started on pole for tonight. It's had a very quiet night ever since. John Ward, biggest move in the race so far, up 12 spots. Right now, McCullough and Danny Barnes up 11. Just show. Oh, there they go again! Astronaut spinning in there, going to Spain against the inside wall. Danny Barnes involved. God almighty. One car already towed back to the pits. It was Richard Elliott. Spain, massive damage. Danny Barnes has got damage to the front of that car. I think Trevor Astronaut. Yep. Astronaut's got it. But no, Astronaut actually might get away with this a little bit. Yeah, he will. I mean, a little bit of damage to that right side, but nothing that's going to hurt. Well, what has happened already? God almighty. Well, hard to say. Elliott got Spain. Spain got Barnes, and Barnes got Astronaut, and away they go. Trevor got lucky. That's all I can say. Luck or skill, 1 to 2. More luck than anything else. Right there, Barnes or Elliott will get Spain. Spain's going to clip Barnes, and then from there it's just on. Man, oh man. Right on board, going to Spain through this. Well, it ain't going to be fun. Bam. Contact, and around she goes. We'll make significant contact with the back of the car against the inside retaining wall. Danny Barnes is on board. Danny had a great night going up until then. Now there's the shot that gave Danny most of the damage to the front. He holding that wheel for dear life, ain't he? Oh yeah, but last but not least, I'm gonna ride on board right here with Trevor Asronoth. Whew. He even let off he even hit the brake. No. The hell if I know. There'll be a second caution tonight. It was probably set up either a natural green-white checkered, or we'll go ahead and send it into overtime. One of the two. So right now, with Danny Barnes in the pits, obviously more damage to that 16 or number 7, or what you want to go by. Trying to get it fixed up. Massive damage to that front and rear. Neither one's going to help him aerodynamically. Gordon Spain back out onto the racetrack. Well, I said it once, and I'm going to say it again. This'll change everything. Well, that being said, unsure yet. Check something real fast. Yeah, well, that's Ethan Eckert. Somebody just blew up. Well, Ethan Eckert done for the race. Lost the upload packet, so therefore disconnecting him, and he is done. So the dominant night for the number 12 has came to an end. Well, that being said, I think the engine we heard expired might have been one of the drivers already on pit road. Had to wait and see, but to re-rack the field, it'll be 3-lap shootout. Maybe we won't need overtime. But you got John Ward, Joshua McCullough, first and second, Astronaut Malik Ray, third and fourth, Sizemore, Real, and Spain, Danny Barnes to round out the 8 drivers still left in contention for this win. Alright. Well, hard to believe that Trevor Astronaut has not led a lap all night officially tonight, but sits in third, has not led a lap. Malik Ray led 2 to start off with. Joshua McCullough 2. John Ward, out of the drivers still left in contention, has led the most laps, only at 5. Well, no matter how many laps you lead, as long as you lead that last one, that's all that matters. And get back around to the start-finish line with it. John Ward, Joshua McCullough brings it down to United Rentals restart zone. 3 laps. Great start by Ward, about the best you could ask for. Going good, jump up in front of McCullough. Astronaut already going to look to the bottom with Sizemore and Gordon Spain right behind him. Danny Barnes back out onto the racetrack, got the majority of the damage fixed up, ready to go. And right now, Ward up into the picture, back down the cover in front of Astronaut. Outside lane just did not have the cars that it needs, either that or the pushing power that it needs. We're going to see. Astronaut jumps up to the outside lane. 2 to go when they get to the start-finish line. Trevor Astronaut, for the first time tonight, at the line will lead. Man. They're hanging on for dear life right now, and that's all you can do at this point. Astronaut will lead off of turn 2. What does McCullough have? What does Barnes? What does Elliott? Does any of them have anything right now? Yes, they do, and here they come. Well, when they make it bad, they'll have the white flag. And really, both lanes, even though Richard Elliott's going to be the one driver that dictates as far as what line might get to run. I don't think so. I think I think both lanes are pretty good on their own. Here we go. White flag. Joshua McCullough. Trevor Asronoff brings them down. 1 to go from Talladega. Asronoff right now holding the bottom lane pretty as you can. Outside lane slits up just a little bit. Ethan Eckert rolling back out onto the racetrack. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Well, Danny Barnes looks to the outside. It's going to hurt that outside lane just a little bit. Barnes trying to get a run side by side through 3 and 4. Off at turn 4 for the final time. Evernoth on the bottom. McCullough on the top. Here comes Malik Ray to make it 3 wide. Seen this before, folks. Getting in photo finish cameras ready. At the line. Welcome back to victory lane. Trevor Asronoff. Ward second. I can't call the rest of it. Well, Malik Ray's going to go ahead and go on around. Man, don't. Ray third. McCullough fourth. Sizemore fifth. I'll be damned. Trevor Asronoff did not lead a lap until 3 to go. Led the last 3 laps, and again, that's all that matters. Kenny Real 6, Jordan Spank 7, Danny Barnes 8. We'll round out the top. We'll round out the drivers on the lead lap. And Trevor Asronoff will be a Toyota 1-2. Malik Ray, Joshua McCullough, and Steve Simon will round out the Chevrolets. And Jack Shack back to victory lane. Kenny Real. Well, we'll wait for Trevor and them to get into Discord for a second. But while we wait, going down the running order one more time. Well, Richard Elliott, 9th. Ethan Eckert will be scored 10th. Chase Mastretta, 11th. Josh DeBruin, Kim McCullough, Justin Johnson, 12th through 13th. John Darnell and Casey Sprinkle rounds out the field. Well, they'll blow the engines. Trevor Asronoff, do you got a copy, buddy?
Oh, brother, you already know I got a copy, baby.
Oh, yeah. Led the final 3 laps. That's all that mattered. What was the strategy at night for the 89? Just be around at the end for it.
That exactly what you just said there. Was just try to be at the end for it. And just, yeah. Just try to survive, man. You know, these races, they usually, I don't know. They usually go, either they're going to wreck or you're not. And I didn't wreck. So, yeah, we're here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, y'all put on a hell of a show right before that last caution. I mean, 4 and 5 wide almost. Take us through it because, I mean, you got slammed 2 or 3 times. As I famously said, there was about 2 or 3 wrecks before they actually started wrecking. Really, what was just going through your mind them last few laps? Everybody, I'm assuming everybody found out they were good on fuel when they flipped the light on and everybody just started going. What was your take on that whole
you
lap?
know what? Man, I forgot I even got hit since I just won this race. That's right. I did get smacked a couple times. I forgot all about that. Yeah, man, we were, it was, of course, another fuel mileage race, which I love. I'm not mad at it. I love a little fuel mileage race. Yeah, once we were good, it was just green light go. And we were going, trying to make it work there towards the end. Had the Jack Shack was rocking the night, baby. We were up front all night. Couple bad things happened there towards the end, but Kenny Real got a 6, and Chase got in a wreck or something there. But other than that, man, yeah, it was just green light all the way. Once I knew we were good on fuel, it was, hey, hang the hell on and hope for the best, baby. And we got us a damn W in that column here tonight, boy. That's what I'll take it.
Well, I got to ask you a bit off topic, but of course, how does this build towards next Saturday to start for the Midnight Racing League playoffs? Will start. How does this build motivation wise for the 89 and for Jack Shack going into that?
Oh man, we talked about it. I talked about it last night with old Justin and them in the Discord. They ain't ready for this smoke, man. I'm gonna be
Oh,
swinging and linging on them. And they said it's a fight now. We got 3 races I think left. I don't know, but they gonna get every inch of this thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it to them. Get me a Midnight Racing League championship
I
right
don't,
here on Raging Idiot Networks, baby.
I don't blame you. Hell, looking forward to calling it. With that being said, I got one last question for you. You know which one it is. Is there anybody want to thank night friends, family, sponsors, etc.? The floor is yours. Jack Shack will celebrate tonight.
Oh yeah, baby. Jack Shack first and foremost will always be rocking that. It ain't never gonna stop. That's the whole problem. It ain't never gonna stop. It's just gonna keep rocking and going, baby. I love them. Love the guys, Kenny and Chase tonight. Working with them real well. Uh, Shout out to you for putting on these broadcasts, man. I know, hey, you do it for us. We get to go back and watch the excitement from the sky. So I do love always going back and watching them broadcasting. And got to shout out MMS, Kenny McCullough, the McCulloughs for putting on these races whenever we can. Just give us something to do each and every night. And yeah, man, can't wait for the next one. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Sunday. I don't know. I've been pretty intoxicated all day. It's Sunday. We're getting ready for Monday tomorrow, so I can't wait on that. Jack Shock's gonna be rocking tomorrow, and hey, man, we'll probably see you sometime during the week, huh?
Oh yeah, save it for Little Dog, Big Dog and next Saturday. But who who says that drinking and driving is bad if you can go out and win one of these?
Yeah, they damn lying to you is what they're doing.
Well, Trevor Astronaut, the hell of a win tonight. Appreciate your time as always, buddy. Look forward to seeing you. Look forward to seeing you in Victory Lane and in the championship for midnight. You calling your shot already?
That's right. They want the smoke. They gonna get the smoke, baby. 89's been strong all season. And it's gonna continue to be strong.
All right, buddy. Well, hell of a job tonight. Trevor Astronaut, your MMS winner on Sunday night. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Never a dull moment with Trevor, and I don't even mean that in a. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean never a dull moment. One to. I tell you, I love a joker with some personality. That's about as much personality as you can get. With that being said, see, I got to jump through some hoops here to find second place here. Well, actually, I'll just text him because I forget I ain't got them kind of privileges in that league that I do this one. While we'll wait on John Ward and Malik Ray to get up into the field or get up into the booth, we'll go ahead and go through the remainder of the field tonight. So Trevor Astronaut, your winner. The rest of the field, John Ward, Malik Ray, second and third. Joshua McCullough, Steve Sizemore, fourth and fifth. Kenny Real, Gordon Spain, Danny Bars, Richard Elliott, Ethan Eckert. A strong car that 12 had tonight. Really a strong car. Led 17 laps out of the 50. Unfortunately, tonight will be done early for the 12. Internet issues will derail the celebration tonight for Ethan Eckert, but he'll be back next time to try to get that elusive win. Chase Pastrana, Josh DeBruyne, Kenan McCullough will finish inside the garage 11th through 12th, along with Justin Johnson, John Darnell, and Casey Sprinkle will round out the field. John Ward not feeling well at the moment. course, flu and all that crap going around. I should know. I've been dealing with it all week. Just now starting to feel like myself. But with that being said, we'll give Malik Ray a couple more minutes to get in here if he chooses to be interviewed tonight. With that being said, it really was a great race, all through and through. Very few cautions. Good trend going right now around all leagues. That's right here on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. Of course, to reiterate, and of course, like I said, just giving Malik Ray a few more minutes to get in if he chooses to be broadcasted. Just talked to Trevor Addernoth about the Midnight Racing League Super Speedway Series and the playoffs. He's called his shot, but he's got to go through 11 others to get that championship. Justin Millicar, Corey Wright, Bryce Hinton, Trevor Addernoth, Trevor Harmon, Mark Pearson, Dylan Conley, Timothy Cook, Kevin Winker, Tyler Markell, Mitchell Redun, and Kevin Allen. There were the 12 drivers on Saturday night going for the Super Speedway Series Championship. And hell, I'll say it, if what we are looking at tonight with that 89 on top of the charts, then we very well could be seeing, very well could see a premonition of what's to come. But still, them 12 drivers all going for that championship. Check one more time. Well, Malik Ray not up for an interview tonight. So with that being said, appreciate everybody watching. Tomorrow night, Inspired Cup Series live from Texas. I'll be live right here on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. Wednesday night, Little Dog, Big Dog. The road to the playoffs will start for them. 12 teams locked in. You can catch that action. HGR on Thursday. More than likely MMS on Fridays. And then, of course, next Saturday, Inspire Thunder Series and the start of the playoffs for the Midnight Racing League Super Speedway Series. That'll all be covered right here on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. And until then, appreciate everybody watching. Have a great night. And I'll see everybody then. Take it easy.